Alright, howdy folks, welcome back. We got a lot to cover tonight. I hope you got your refreshments, went to the bathroom, did all your things, and get ready because what I'm about to show you tonight is jaw dropping, okay? What we got happening here, not this, tonight's report, is gonna shock you, okay? Since I saw it earlier today, I have been riddled with anxiety. I wanted to just do it right away, and the Lord was like, nope, not until tonight. So, as you can see, we have our seeds site back with a bunch of data, okay? Currently, what we're looking at here is the 21st today, and you can see we've had a couple of CMEs off the side here. Watch this one right here, boom. Boom, there's the first one. Okay, that's the beginning of the loop. And then at the very end, we have the second one right here. Okay, so we've had two blasts off the sun today. Okay, now when we go to this site, let me get this thing out of the way here. Okay, we'll come back and cover this, but while we got some people here, we really need to get into this and focus on this event that happened yesterday. Okay, so let me back out of this. Now, when this site refreshes and brings back a bunch of data, all these days that we're missing, I like to go through that data and see what was in there because sometimes it's missing because they're covering stuff up, right? So I like to go back through this data just to see if there's anything we missed. And yesterday on 11/20, let this load up here, and then we're going to start going into it a little bit here. This is yesterday's events, all right? Remember we were looking at it on this smaller version of this yesterday? Okay, now we have the difference model. And there was something hiding in there that you couldn't see on this side, okay? And you can't even see it right now until I speed things up and start pointing things out. So, let this loop play one more time. This is from yesterday, the 20th. Okay. Yep, it's still in there. Okay, so hold on tight, you guys, because what you're about to see is probably going to twist your melon. I mean, as if most things on this channel haven't twisted your melon and shocked you. Okay, how are we going to do this, Lord? Just the best we can? All right. So our event is actually going on right here, all right? This weird little explosion that kind of seems to return a little bit type of event. Very ghostly right here, okay? Now, when I first looked at this, it didn't look like much, but then a lot of stuff is happening in slow motion, so we speed things up. So what I'm about to do here is speed things up first. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in on... No, I want it tighter than that. Hang on. Ah! My bad. Let's get this playing again. Start. Okay. I want to zoom in more than that because I want this nice and big and in your face so you can see it. Okay. Now, this blurry little event right here, if you watch closely, let's just get it all the way. It's not picking up good enough on my camera for you guys. All right. There we go. I'm going to let that sit there and play for a minute and let you guys see what you see before I start pointing it out, because I don't want to be power of suggestion or, putting ideas in your head before you evaluate it on your own first here. Okay? So, it appears that we have a CME coming along and knocking this UFO out of position, and it rocks back. And if we can get in even tighter, you can see this disc actually rotate when struck and when it moves. All right, there's the tightest we can get in there. But you can see this thing rotate too. Oh, I know. We need to tint it out. It's too bright. There we go. There we go. Now, can you guys see it rotating? Can you see this giant ship getting struck by the CME? It knocks it over on its side and the ship recovers and tilts back. And it even rotates when hit. Boom. That's a huge ship, you guys. Ship or possible, it looks more like a giant ship, but with these things rotating around it, they almost look like little moons. It almost looks like a little solar system with little moons or something rotating around it, but it seems to be a giant ship because you can make out the edge of the disc. Okay, and then we're going to slow it down. Here, let me slide it over real quick, slow it down just a tad bit. Now that you see it and you know what to look for, now we'll come back at it with a little slower. Well, okay, so then what I want to do is go back in this sequence here and kind of show you what was going on here in the background that caused this. So, where are we at? Boom. Let's back up a few frames here. And let's put the tint back there for you because we zoomed out. My bad. Okay, as we open up this day, this frame, can you make out this dark one right here with this little bow shock right here? Let's back it up just a tad bit. No. Boom. It's right here. Okay, so this one is moving out with its little bow shock. Now a second one comes out, racing out even faster to like pass this one. Here it comes. It's this one right here. Where's one where we had, there's a good one right there. I'm going to zoom in on this frame real quick. Okay, now you can see this round spheroid object right here. The instrument's making its indentation as usual. All right, here's the first object. Here's the second one comes speeding out to pass this one. And when it does, it disrupts the ship that was sitting here. The ship was just sitting here. You couldn't see it until this thing came by and knocked it off balance and made it spin. So here's our secondary core right here, all right? Now, or whatever object. I'm just going to call it an object, all right? So we got one up front and the second one coming out like twice as fast than the first one. Let me get this just right. Then you see the ship tilt and the plasma drape over the edge of the ship. All right, so that's the event leading up to it. So now let's get this started again. And I'm going ahead. Now watch slowly. We have our first object, boom, boom, the double shot. The second one comes out faster. There. Causing a CME or whatever that makes that ship rock off balance. Now we're going to zoom back into it. Now that you see the action, or I described the action, okay. Let's go in a little tighter. At this speed, kind of slow motion. So these this secondary object coming out really fast brushes by the ship. The wake of it rocks this ship. Boom. Now we'll speed it up because it's the speed that gives it the really defines the motion here. All right. There we go. Now you can really see the spin that it gets. Pretty amazing stuff, huh, you guys? This was yesterday, all right? And it appears that this thing went back into position. There were several in this day that got rocked out of place. This isn't the only one. Okay, so, but this one has this effect. So hopefully that's capturing it there for you. And you can see the rotation on it. You can see the little tails coming off these little, whatever, orbs or moons or windows or whatever that you can see. There's small little circular things rotating around the bigger one. The bigger one has like a plane type disc edge going around it. Alright, so now let's slow it down one click. That's a little too fast. Alright. And this, we were reporting on yesterday, okay, and this was hiding in the background. We couldn't see it on the red version. So I'm glad that these guys updated their data. Thank you, Lord, for updated data. Alright? And that's what was in there. Okay? Now, boy, let's go deeper into this day. Okay, so we pulled back. I got to be able to use the instrument here. All right, so let's go to the opening frame of this day. Right here. Okay. I was reporting on this ghostly object down here on the red side that it just couldn't identify because it's hard on this red side to see some of this stuff. This is a disc-shaped craft. It's got its little ghost image right behind it, but it's laying at an angle, this angle. It's flat like this. So if you tilt your head to your right shoulder, I'd say 45 degrees. Where's the one frame? Right there. And I'm going to zoom in on this. A little more. Okay. Yeah. Now we're capturing it. Okay, if you tilt your head, this disc is at an angle like this, okay? So if you tilt your head to the right, you can make out the edge of the disc and its dome right here. Come over to this instrument and go through these frames yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Come over here and look at the real data. So as this thing moves out, let me see if I can catch, let me catch this button at the same time. Bear with me. Yeah. Get on over there. Slide up just a little bit more. I'm trying to make as much space for you guys to see. All right. Here you can see the dome. This is the ghost image a little bit of the dome. Here's the next image of it lit up. It's got plasma draped around it too. So let me back it up. All right, that's what ended up being this weird thing down here, is a disc laying at an angle like that coming out of there just as this event starts to happen. Okay, so it's not the same one. So there was two of them. There was this one, and then there's also this one. This one appears to maybe come out the other side here later on when we proceed. Okay, we got this event happening. Whoops, right here. This event happening that we already covered. The secondary object rocking this first UFO, all right? We also have this weird twisting CME on the side over here. This is the one I was reporting about yesterday, coming off the side over here that seemed to be twisting or flipping right here. See it kind of roiling and curling around a little bit. When we put it in faster motion, you'll see it. Another object down here. But at the very end of this, let me get this just right, because I got to find the right frame here. Oh, where is it? Boop, boop, boom. After this thing kind of roils and flips around, it ejects a UFO. The UFO is spinning, much like this one, and that's what's causing the roiling effect. Oh, I lost the frame. Let's go back and put it in motion here. All right, you see this spinning effect over here on the side? Let me go ahead and just zoom in on that for you. It's a little too fast. We'll slow it down here. It's a little hard to see, but out of this flipping, spinning, comes a UFO. Another disc. And then you see this event up here in the corner. So there were multiple UFOs hanging out around the sun. Big ones, too. This thing is big. I don't want to do the size comparison, but now I just was told to do it. So I'm going to give you a size comparison. All right. You see our ship, it's probably this big right there. Yeah. You see this circle? This white circle represents the size of the sun. All right? Not the big red circle, just the white one inside. The red circle is the occulter. The white one represents the size of the sun. Let's compare. And this ship is pretty close to the sun. All right? We can tell by its reaction right away to the blast how close it is to the sun. All right, let me just zoom this in real quick. Keep this in mind. The size, it's like, put this white circle inside this black one for a minute as we zoom in here in your mind, okay? And let me speed this up a little bit so we can see it a little clearer. Let's even go in a little tighter. That way we can still keep half of this. So the circle would be going up, and oops, now you can't see the end of my pointer because it's black. But you can see that thing, if you laid it on its side and put it in the middle of this black circle, that could possibly be as big as our planet. Okay, I have seen something similar actually, but not this defined, not rotating nice and clearly like that. Let's just zoom in on that rotation, shall we? And then I want to, all these scientists, all these astrophysicists, people at NASA, come on, please tell me what's going on here. I want to hear your story. I want to hear your little lie as to what's going on right here. How are you going to cover this one up? See, these guys probably looking for a little craft to put a little block over, but they didn't know things happen in slow motion. And bingo. Let me darken this because it really does it better justice. There we go. Yeah. I'll let you be the judge of what you see there, but it's kind of interesting. Don't you think? And that object shooting by it got too close and kind of nudged it off off its axis there, and you see it recover and blend right back into the solar wind. So it was sitting there the whole time until this thing nudged it, and then it made it spin, and you could see it. Amazing stuff. Amazing. I was so anxious to show you this all day today. I had to lay down and take a nap and wake up to make sure I wasn't dreaming and come back over to this site and make sure I saw what I saw. It wasn't a dream. So, thankful for uploaded data, huh? Look at that. All right, so that was a busy day yesterday. And these craft don't necessarily take 3 days to get here. They can get here a lot quicker, let's say. So expect to see something, maybe this in your skies in the next coming days. All right? Or don't be surprised if you see something similar to this in your clouds, in your skies, or somewhere, because it's out there. And it's just basking in the sun, soaking up energy and stuff. Every once in a while it gets bumped out of place there. Boom. All right, let's continue on. We got reports still to do. As you can see, we have red going on over here. I'm going right to this before it refreshes and we lose this image. Yep, see, it's already refreshed to yellow. It was red there. Let me back up. Did that refresh too? Oh, it sure did. It was darker red in there earlier today. That's what you saw on the thumbnail. You guys here at this channel understand what this means? You guys do. We're taking in energy. We're absorbing energy right now. That energy gets transferred to the core. The core heats up and swells. It grinds on the shell. We get activity on the human. We also get weak magnetic field because of the grinding. All right. So, absorption event underway, and it was red. It was red when it was more rotated around over here, over us, okay? I'll see that on the thumbnail. You saw it kind of briefly before I opened up the page there. Oh, kind of see it right here in red right there on this one a little bit. Okay? So we are having an absorption event. Here's our KP index, and lo and behold, the inbound energy that we were expecting on the 20th that I thought was right here appears to have been even later, or it was a separate event, but we had a KP 4.5 right here. All right, unexpected boom. That should have been, more over here. So we had an absorption event. We got hit with some energy right here. You saw it affecting the auroras. Here's our current KP at 4 right now. This is just a little bit higher than we are currently at right now. So we're in the middle of a geomagnetic event right now. And you can see, there it is, hitting us. Here's all these sunspots. This whole sunspot group is such a mess that it's almost too much to talk about, because it's under such change that reporting on it is going to be useless tomorrow. Tomorrow's report will be different, so it'd be kind of a waste of breath. But in the meantime, we do have these crazy sunspot regions. This whole complex. It's not even a region, it's a complex. So maybe we'll get into that later. I got a lot of stuff. Let's open up this tracker here. I'm going to show you where our next CME is supposed to go. Down this way, away from, 90 degrees away from us, which is good. We don't need to be taking anything more on the chin. Apparently, we do have some of these, when these objects that induce these CMEs, when they arrive here, they're bringing energy with them. Not a CME, but they still bring their own, aura of electromagnetic frequency or whatever that still disrupts weather. And lo and behold, today was the more intense day for the weather as far as tornadoes, more so than yesterday was more so expected than today, and today produced more, or seemed to have been more ramped up. That energy arriving late affected the weather today. Let me go back real quick to this KP index. Uh, so the weather arrived late. It was supposed to. This little gully right here was yesterday's energy hitting us during the storm. This is today's energy hitting us during the storm, and it intensified the storms today more so than it did yesterday. Your delayed reaction or delayed impact had a delayed reaction too. Okay, so backing out of that. Oh, wait. We don't need to back out of that. We can just go right on over to our next instrument here. So coming over to the Schumann now. Get that block out of there. Do I have this? Yeah, that's as much as I can get. All right, let me scooch this and scooch that and get as close up in as we can. We can't zoom on this site because it's a Russian. All right. So, as you can see, we have had a couple of these weak areas in our magnetic field right here. There's one right there, pretty not good one, but there's this, weak area right there, and here was another one right here. Then we started cruising along. You can see we start to scrape along here as we take in that new energy. That new energy transferred. Here's like the first impact of the energy. It takes 4 to 6 hours to absorb, and then we start screeching. So this is almost kind of set up your absorption area, the time frame. This looks like initial impact, your absorption time, and now your core grinding already starting to happen. When you have such a short reaction between here, it used to take like a half a day. It was so far off that you couldn't match this up because it was like a half a day off. It never matched up to a CME, never matched up to anything until those two barriers got closer. And now when impact hits, it only takes what? Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay, so it looks like it takes 4 hours now for grinding to begin, where it used to be half a day, then down to 6 hours. Now it's down to 4 hours. That diminishing time frame tells you the gap between the two barriers is getting thinner and thinner and closer and closer. It's more reactionary. All it takes is one blast, and the Earth absorbs it and reacts pretty quick. Okay, so expect to see more screeching because I just showed you the red. Whoa! Oh, it went away. I just showed you the red on the auroras coming in. So that's going to increase this. This is also going to increase pressure down below, and we are going to see magma start to roil and expand again and move up, pressure pushing up underneath the under surface of the crust, coming to the surface again. That means your volcano in Iceland that had just receded, watch it come right back up to the surface and possibly erupt. We had an eruption today, the biggest of the year, at, where is it? Pull it in here. This volcano right here, Ulawun, okay? And it's the biggest blast so far. I think it went to 50,000 feet today, all right? And it was a long-duration blast out of this little volcano, Ulawun. And there's video footage out there of it. It's pretty dramatic blast, all right? It's not like the Hunga Tunga one, but it's our biggest blast so far this year. All because of this inbound energy, this new wave of energy that we just took on the chin. I got to pull this instrument up one more time because we reference back to it. Okay, this new energy that we just took in right here is still absorbing. Okay, so expect to see the KP index maybe go up a little bit higher as more of this here. This is the daytime side. Earlier today, this was in green. All right, so it's receding now. It's not as intense as it was just a few hours ago. So our event is petering out, but we did take a pretty good shot, and it made this thing glow red right here. Okay, so that means more earthquakes, more volcanic activity coming here in the next from here on from starting from here on out. All right. Now, no, not quite yet. This one. First, real quick over here, let me just show you some of this. As this magma expands, it pushes this SO2 gas. This is sulfur dioxide. And look at this. Look how there is a line, a literal line down the middle of our country. Do you see the divided country? This is like God's way of giving you signs. This is a country divided. It's dark on one side and there's hope on the other. This is all sulfur dioxide that surrounds the magma underneath being pushed up through the surface. So it looks like we might have activity, earthquake activity over in this region of the country possibly. But look at this line. Isn't this just something, this defined line right down through the heart of Texas, through the little tip of Texas and out? And that's not the wind, that's the gas coming out. You can see these other pockets up here. So expect to see this darken up, okay? We'll probably see some of this area over on this side blossom more to life too. You know, it might fill in. Over here in Hawaii, we got a little plume coming out of Oahu right here, okay? So watch that closely. These islands might see a little activity come to life, all right? Any of these volcanoes that are on the verge right now are really going to start to see some activity with this new inbound energy swelling, causing the magma to push to the underside of the surface. And you can see it's getting the darker the color, the more intense this gas is, and it's pushing out really intense over here in China, where it usually does. Down here, watch this area now. We got this Anak Krakatau here, and it's got this pressurized area of sulfur dioxide coming out right in that channel right there in that area. We also have the volcanoes Merapi and what's the other one? I can't think of it right now. Anyways, we got two volcanoes on this island that are active, all right? What was the other spot that I saw that I was concerned about? Oh, yes. Right here in Greece, this island right here is starting to turn all dark purple. So a lot of pressure building up underneath there, a lot of sulfur coming out of there. Watch out for volcanic eruptions around there as well. Some of these volcanoes, Etna and stuff in Italy, might be going off again. Volcanoes in South America might be going off again. Even ones in Central America. All volcanoes, because we got pressure equalized, pressure coming out in all directions, every direction. All right, moving on to earthquakes. Let me get this pretty like for you. Okay, let's just come over here and start. Whoops. Can we come over here and start, please? All right, so there was no real deep quake in this region today. There is this one. Come on. There you go. All right. It is picking it up. All right, cool. 5.1. Where's my pointer? 5.1 at a depth of 8. All right, so that's not a deep quake. That's a surface quake. That's residual energy up at the surface being released around our deep quake area. So there's that energy that has been released in this area is starting, has made it to the surface and is cruising down the little boundaries right here. 4.7, depth of 55. Even down here at New Zealand is a 4.4. So mid-range 4 energy going down that way, 5 energy going this way. This one was a 5.1. Then here we go with this 6.7 at Vanuatu. This is recent. Yeah, this is new since I started. I thought this was the latest new one right up here. This 6.0 that wasn't very long ago either. Whew, I did not know about this one. So let's back up here and let's get into this because we have a 6.7 with a tsunami advisory here, which I'm going to open up in a second here. If I can get my... This is just as we're going here. All right, they have it as a magnitude 6.7 as well. So we had a 6.7, no tsunami warning. Let me just open this thing up. And aha, they have it at a magnitude 7. This is the one that I believe the most, is this little thing right here. And they have it at a 7, okay? We know how the USGS likes to downgrade stuff, right? So they don't have to total up a bunch of 7s at the end of the year. We could just kick it down to a 6.9 or a 6.8. Always downgrading, right? They're always downgrading. But if it's a 6.7, why is there a tsunami advisory for the Vanuatu Islands? The event depth was 6 miles, so it's a very shallow quake. All right, let me back out of that, back to our quakes. Wow. So, 6.7 to 7.0, right here, you guys. This is, we have some energy at the surface in the area now, okay? Just a little while ago, we had this. This is a 6.0 at a depth of 119. All right. This one is not on the plate boundary. It's off of this little island in between here. Just at the very beginning of this plate boundary line right here, okay? So this energy, 6 energy, is right here at the door of this plate boundary, this part of the system. Do you see how this area of the system is just naked, ready for the transfer of energy? We have 6.7 to 7.0, 6 to 7.0 energy in the area pushing up through the system. We have a totally empty, naked system ready to be filled in. Not too hard. Not too hard to call for a possible 6 here at Japan. In this region right here, we've been seeing... Oops. Wrong direction. We've been seeing deep quakes in this little valley right in here between these two ridges. We've been seeing deep quakes in this area. This energy coming up through the area might trigger some deep activity there. All right. It could trigger something right here in Taiwan. That's the next one up the line, really, is this fulcrum point here. Not Taiwan. This right here, this island. See how this comes around, makes a little point. Let's see if we can grab this for you. See, our little red line comes to a point right there. That is actually a fulcrum point. Even though it ends right here, that is still a fulcrum point. So as we back out, watch out for 6 energy, 6 to 7 in this area, in Taiwan, anywhere all along both of these, especially here where these fulcrum points are, just off the coast of Japan, even right here at Japan. Both sides, both plate boundaries could see 6 to 7s. We get deep ones in this region. You could see a possible deep six that could create its own little quake swarms. Speaking of quake swarms, this energy could cause something, another quake swarm event here somewhere too. We had this quake swarm event the other last week right here at the beginning of this fracture zone. Now we got a 5 right there below it. So this new energy coming in could spur, uh, and this new energy from below both could spur new quake swarm activities. A big quake with a bunch of swarming around it or something, possibly. Okay. This is a bump up in our energy at the same time we just took in more energy. So you're starting to see it translate in the magnitude jump in our earthquakes. All right. So we've had a magnitude jump. We're still taking in energy possibilities for 7 and plus. Okay. 6 to 7 automatically, but with new energy still being absorbed and taking time for that magma to heat up and roil and expand and spread and go back up into crevices, and when it recedes it drops away, leaving like upside down canyons on the bottom side of the crust. Those canyons, when the lava rises, those inverted canyons still need to fill up and fill in, just like those like pockets filling in. You'll see Iceland come back to life again with earthquakes and with more activity, and that volcano might possibly go off now, depending on how much energy we've taken in and how much the earth swells from inside. Okay. Let's just all right. So naked area, totally naked. This whole side of the system, we could see a big quake pop off here, possibly off the coast of Sumatra. All right, 6 to 7. Anywhere up here, we saw this new area when it doesn't hit along the fracture zone, possibly in our new area here, skipping our locked up point, maybe even touching off something here at this weak spot in the Himalayas here where we saw the Nepal quakes, dumping off a couple of quakes up here. Um, we're always talking mid-range 4 to mid-range 5. We're up a whole magnitude, so mid-range 5 to mid-range 6, possibly quakes energy coming through this area, dumping them off at the points, even coming over here to Iran and Iraq, dropping some big quakes, even waking this area in Italy and Greece. I just showed you this island of Greece. There's all mainly purple right there. So you're going to see possible activity in Greece, up in Italy. Stromboli might go off. Etna might go again. All these ones that are just on the verge of going, and anytime we take a solar punch, they react by spewing out magma. So get ready to see volcanoes around the world react to this. Let's go to this latest one right here that's in red. This is a 4.8 down here in Chile at a depth of 107. Get you guys a little closer. Here's our little area, our fulcrum point area that distributes a lot of the energy. 4.8, a 4.7 here, a 4.5 there, and 4.4. So beautiful distribution, beautiful distribution of energy. The release and distribution of energy, not too big. It's kind of widespread. It's not one big impact event. You can see our weak areas over here in the crust, over here in Texas. Boom. Still going 2.9, 2.6, 3.2, and a 2.7. These are small quakes, but it's showing you a weak spot in the crust right here. When this energy does make it over the hump here, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. As this comes up, I foresee mid-range 6 to 7, getting all the way up to here, getting pinched off by the garden hose, and get knocked down a magnitude to 5. It'll make it over the hump and drop off possible 5 to mid-range 5 in this area. Let's pray it doesn't transfer straight across and give us that 6 energy here at the Wanda Fuca. All right, and look how naked and open it is and ready for pressure to be released in that area. Okay, all this is really quiet, small activity up here over the hump, but there's energy coming down the system. Oh, hello, Hobinson. It's okay that you're late. Oh, whoa, you're in blue? Oh, you look nice in blue, Hobinson. Okay, so, well, let's get her up to speed. Here you go, Hobinson. We just had a 6.7 Vanuatu, depth of 22, with a tsunami advisory. Their advisory actually called this a 7, not a 6.7, and thus the advisory. And we have all this open area, all these fault lines, all these plate boundaries still to fill in with that, oh, you're welcome, with that energy. So mid-range 6 to 7. There's no mid-range. There's 6.0 right there at the base of this complex right here, this energy going up, all right? We got 6 right at the door coming in the floodgates. So 6 to 7, because right behind that is this energy. It's 6.7, and let me just show you one more time for anybody else. Oh wait, we already had it. They have this advisory at a 7, right there, magnitude 7. All right, so 6 to 7 energy coming in. All right, we have energy from space that's coming in, causing swelling. So you're going to see the energy release in the form of earthquakes and volcanoes going off. Okay. So there's your earthquake report. All right. Even let's just come over here and take a look at this map. Some of these volcanoes over here that are in yellow, Krakatoa, that's in yellow, could come to life and turn red. Is it Dukono? Yeah, Dukono is in yellow, I think, or is it this other one, Karangatang? No, I think it's Dukono that's in yellow. That one could possibly come to life. This one that's right next to the one we just had go off, this Uluwum, this one that's in yellow right next to it, Bagana, that's in yellow. That one could possibly come to life too, all right? So these ones that are in yellow up here at Iceland, even this one here in Africa, especially this one, Merapi and Semeru are the two here on Java that are going off, and this one that's right next to him is Krakatoa, all right? And that Krakatoa, that one, we got to watch carefully. So any of these in yellow could possibly turn red now. Just let me show you that there's a volcano in red down here, Erebus, by this ice shelf here. Okay, there's heating going on underneath Antarctica that's melting the basements, or the foundations of these ice shelves is being eroded underneath, being melted away from the heat underneath. Something else. Whoops, what am I doing? This one doesn't do that, Brian. Go over here. These two over here in the Aleutian chain. I can't even see them, let alone pronounce them. The Great Sitkin volcano is one, and Shishkadalin, whatever. Those two in yellow could possibly come to life. All right. So we have energy that we just took and absorbed. The Earth is reacting right now, and we're starting to see our activity ramp up. We got a 6.7 to 7 magnitude quake out there already. Okay. Whew. All right, let's come over to our forecast model. So today's storm that went through Alabama and stuff did produce a tornado. Yesterday too, was a small event. It did produce a couple of small tornadoes, but thankfully nothing too devastating. One of the streamers I was watching, the Jack, was like, "Oh man, this is boring. I came here to see a tornado and devastation," and it's like, "Well, I'm sorry. I'm here praying for people's safety and no tornado." So we're we're working against each other, buddy. Anyway, we now have this storm has now moved more north and easterly as I keep dropping my pointer. And this will be our opening frame right now. This would be the nighttime of the 21st with our intensive weather kind of shifting more northerly here up into Pennsylvania. They're not calling for any tornadoes in this now, but it's still large hail, high winds, massive amounts of rain, flash flooding. There's even an icing event in between the cold air mass and this moist. You can see this little purple area, pink area. So there's a boundary there where you're seeing icing events. Okay, let me go another frame into the morning time of the 22nd. All right. So you're still going to have this weather in the area. It could do travel delays still in the noontime or in the morning there. Then it moves offshore during the noontime. Lots of snow up in Maine. Okay, still back up here in Vermont and stuff. Even down into Florida, crosses, comes, hugs the coast there during noon hours. Then finally offshore by the end of convection. Then, as it moves out, there's basically clear weather for most of the country. This will be your next travel headache. As this comes in, this is a snowstorm coming into the Rockies here, and Denver being one of the hubs, one of the stopover hubs, main hubs for transfer flights, could experience delays. All right, this is November 24th. This is the noontime hours, so we'll back up a little bit. That's the nighttime of the 23rd, going into the morning of the 24th. Then the noontime of the 24th, then the end of convection, the end of 24th, going into the 25th. So this storm right here could bring some hassles to this part of the country on the return trip as we get into the 25th here. That's the end of convection, the 25th, into the night of the 25th. You see this up here coming back down in from Canada, this cold air mass bringing snow to Minnesota, North Dakota. Rain through the central part of the country right there on the 20. That's the morning of the 26th, going into the noontime, the afternoon or the end of convection of the 26th, the nighttime of the 26th, and the morning of the 27th. And it kind of clears on out of there. And there's not much else to really report on there. This is a little further out. We have no idea what will happen, if any more energy from the sun will affect that as well. But look how that thing wraps up into a monster there. These frames here. Boom. But that's not until December 3rd time frame. Yeah, starting December 3rd through the 4th. Possible big storm hitting the East Coast and slamming the West Coast here. Look at this. Simultaneously. December 4th. Boom, boom, boom. So we'll watch that time frame. Anything could change between now and then. Things are so volatile that these 16-day forecasts used to be, we're getting reliable there for a while. And now all of a sudden, with this kind of energy off the sun, it really makes it hard to predict anymore. So, look at this. Those of you who came in late, here's our jaw-dropping UFO getting rocked by a solar blast here. You can see that the solar blast goes past it right up here. Boom, and knocks this thing off kilter. And it's spinning too. Let's get a little tighter in on it. I want you guys to see this object spinning. I'll go even a little bit faster here, because that's what gives it the effect too. One more click faster. Alright, now yeah, you can see that thing rotating. And that was yesterday, and there were multiple UFOs that got kind of rocked by the sun. That one being quite the capture right there. You can see it rotating, and I went over it. We did frame by frame showing this is sped up, of course, but it's showing us object inducing a CME going by. There were two. One going by slow, and the second one sped by so fast that it knocked this thing off kilter. Boom. And then when it blends back in, you can't even see it. It just kind of blends right back into the flow. So it was in that flow, and then you can't see it until it gets rocked, and then it snaps back into position. So if it's sitting in that flow and we can't see it, how many others are sitting around here in that flow that we can't see until they get rocked out of position like this one did? Bam! Yeah, slow it down one more click, because I just wanted you guys to see the rotation exaggerated there a little bit. And now we can see. Yeah, NASA. All right, you guys over at JPL or whatever, I want you to explain this. Well, I want to hear your excuses to what's going on the sun here. I can't wait to hear it, because it's pretty obvious of what's going on there. It's pretty amazing stuff. But what a capture we got there, huh, folks? Isn't that a jaw dropper? I wanted to bring this to you the moment I found it, but Lord was like, nope, not until you do your show later. Okay. So there's your jaw dropper, folks. Hopefully it was worth it. Yeah, wow. Quite the capture there. Yeah, all right. I like your enthusiasm, people. I love you guys. All right. So with that, we'll leave that kind of going in the background. Let me get rid of. Oh, the devastation I was showing in the opening was from Iraq now. All right. So Iraq is now getting their punishment. Get rid of these instruments. They take up a lot of whatever space on my computer that's so weak I can barely get one page working as it is. Yeah, we'll X out some of those while that's running in the background. Real quick, take a peek at our Schumann. Yeah, it's still scraping along. You can even see this little line down here at the bottom. This frequency right here at it's about 13 hertz. Right there's a little scraping line. You see this line kind of showing up uniformly, or not uniformly, but always kind of showing up in these events. And here now at that frequency, it's probably a. Let me just. Oh, I can't zoom in on that. Anyways, these are probably boundary layers that cause different harmonic frequencies when they rub. I don't know. But it kind of looks, you can see the scraping going right to left. So there's probably some, the boundary between the mantle and the crust right there, maybe. And they're seeing lava rubbing up against the underside of the crust, causing this frequency at a higher frequency at 13 or whatever. Let's go back to this image real quick. Okay, we got that going. I do have something to read for you guys, so let me just pull up another another image to read by tonight. Yeah. You guys hanging in there? I'm sure you guys are getting tired like me. I've been pushed to my limits, which is good. God's really showing me what I've got. Stuff I never knew I had in me. He pushes me to limits and opens new doors I just never knew I could do. Let me, as soon as they're done with their ad here, come on, you guys. Finish up with your ad, please. Almost. It's some ghoul holding a flaming sword or whatever. Alright. We'll just kind of freeze frame right there. I'll get a shot of it right there. Alright. So quite the event going on the sun there. Something came along and rocked that UFO out of position and revealed it. It was hidden, and somebody exposed it. Okay, so where'd you have me, or do you want me to tell them this or this? Oh, here we go. Let my presence override everything you experience. No, not that one. Oh, okay, hang on. Stay ever so close to me, and you will not deviate from the path I have prepared for you. This is the most efficient way to stay on track. It is also the most enjoyable way. Men tend to multiply duties in their observance of religion. This practice enables them to give me money, time, and work without yielding up to me what I desire the most, their hearts. Rules can be observed mechanically. Once they become habitual, they can be followed with minimal effort and almost no thought. These habit-forming rules provide a false sense of security, lulling the soul into a comatose condition. Have you seen these people out here in this comatose condition that they're talking about? That's the zombies. They're the spiritually dead. Okay, all right. Now, what I search for in my children is an awakened soul that thrills to the joy of my presence. I created mankind to glorify me and enjoy me forever. I provide the joy, and your part is to glorify me by living close to me. Let my presence override everything you experience. Like a luminous veil of light, I hover over you and everything around you. I am training you to stay conscious of me in each situation you encounter. When the patriarch Jacob ran away from his enraged brother, he went to sleep on a stone pillow in a land that seemed desolate. But after dreaming about heaven and angels and promises of my presence, he awoke and exclaimed, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." Surely the Lord was in this place, and you were not aware of it. Well, you are now. His discovery was not only for him, but for all who seek me. Whenever you feel distant from me, say, "Surely the Lord is in this place," and then ask me to give you awareness of my presence. This is a prayer that I delight to answer. Look for me in the hard places of your life. It's easy to find me in answered prayer, in beauty, in the heartfelt joy, but I'm also tenderly present in the difficulties. In fact, your problems are fertile soil for growing in grace and encountering my loving presence in greater depth and breadth. So search for me in dark times, both past and present. If you're plagued by painful memories and hurtful past experiences, look for me in them. I know all about them and I'm ready to meet you there. Invite me into those broken places and cooperate with me in putting the fragments back together in new ways. If you are walking through tough times in the present, remember to cling to my hand. Against the dark backdrop of adversity, the light of my presence shines in transcendent radiance. This light blesses you abundantly, providing both comfort and guidance. I will show you the way forward, step by step. As you walk close to me, I will draw into you deeper, richer intimacy with me. I am at the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. I am not only a locked barrier, but an open door for you, for all my chosen followers. I came into the world so that you might have life and have it to the full. A full life means different things for different people. So in your quest to live abundantly, don't compare your circumstances with those of others. You don't need as much money or as many luxuries as your neighbor in order to live well. Godliness with contentment is great gain. I want you to be satisfied with my provision for you. If you have food and clothing, the basic necessities of life, seek to be content with that. If I give you more, respond with joy and thankfulness. But don't cling to what you have or covet the things that you don't have. The only thing you can cling to without harming your soul is me. No matter what you possess in this world, remember, little or much plus me equals everything. Whew. Quite a day. Jaw-dropping day. Wow. All right, NASA. All right, suspicious observers. How come you didn't observe this? I'm a little suspicious of your observations. You need to look harder. And if you can't see it, come over here and I'll show you. All right? But I dare anybody in the scientific community to come and explain this. You won't see anybody address this subject except me. You won't see this on any other channel except mine. I'm the guy that shows this stuff, okay? Because I don't think anybody else is even aware, knows what to look for, or even if they saw it, or just not even know what to say or how to report it. So hopefully this show was a good one for you guys. Hopefully your jaw was open there and we had to kind of grab you by the chin and close your mouth there because you're staring at this going, what the? Yeah. So we got our deleted data back and guess what was in there? Wonder why it was deleted. I wonder why it was withheld for so long. All right. And you know what I'm going to do for this one? I'm going to go ahead and put this link to this instrument, to the seed site. I'll go put that in the description of this video when this is done uploading, okay? So if you want to come over to this site and you don't know how to get to it, I will provide the link in the description for you so you can get on over here and learn how to start using this instrument and go check it every day for yourself. See what you find, you know? You'll see this and you'll be like, oh my God, I know what Brian's going to show tonight. Or you'll see some weird object or some event happen on the sun and you'll be like, ooh, I see it before, before he even does the show. I can see what's going on, now that I know what to look for. And this instrument down below, you come down here. Let me zoom out so we can see the buttons down here. It's very, very simple. Pause. Start. Pause. Next frame, one frame, previous frame, going backwards. So you can frame by frame, going forward and backward. You can rewind to a certain spot. You can reverse the direction. Here, look, time's going backwards now. Everything's going back into the sun. No, we're going in reverse. So you can reverse stuff. You can hit this back and forward, make it go back and forth like that, roll back and forth. All right, so the buttons down here, easy, understandable, and very, very easy to come over here. And hopefully your computer has some little device on it where you can zoom in on your screen on a certain fragment, and you can come over here and watch this for yourself. Okay, because I don't make this stuff up. This is their instrument. This is their data that they're supplying to us. Okay. All right, so close out with that image right there. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's reading. Praying for everybody. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep praying for each other's strength. Pray for endurance for each other. A lot of people are in pain right now, so we're all the prayers for endurance and relief. Even when you do get a little bit of relief from pain, notice it and be thankful for it, and it might ease the pain even more. So I think that's it for tonight. Is that it for tonight, Lord? Did we get everything covered? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, and pray for protection for everybody too. All right. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Share it with somebody that you love, and you can make their jaw drop too. Okay. All right. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, my next show, I'll be back. I'm already back. Can't you tell? Bless you all.